Welcome. Thank you so much for your response on the various yoga sessions that you're doing, especially the response that came in asking for a short morning routine, something to wake up by that was quick enough that you could do it before you got dressed for the day. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. And I'd like you to have just one yoga mat. You will not need any other props. So in order to prepare, you go ahead and assemble your yoga mat and I'll get ready. Begin by standing either directly in front of your yoga mat or back on your yoga mat, whichever works for you. You can use yoga shoes if you like, or you can be barefoot, whichever works best in your situation. And I'm going to pin my hair up because we're going to have a lot of movement today, and you may want to do that too. Very good. We're all ready. So feet are about hip width apart. Make sure that you're not out too far or in too close. We want comfort for the hips, and we want a direct alignment from the foot all the way up through the ankle, the knee, and into the hip itself. We're going to strive for bringing the hip in alignment with our shoulder and our shoulder in alignment with the ear, and that allows the body to be balanced. It may not be there in the morning when you first wake up. That's normal and natural from being in bed overnight. But let's begin in this standing position and notice. Do you feel balanced, left and right? Do you have mild discomfort in some areas, perhaps in your low back or your shoulder or your neck? Those things can happen as well. By noticing them, then you'll be able to see at the end of our session how this works all those things out. Bring your full attention down to your feet. Bounce on your feet a little bit. Bounce on them in a way that you wake them up and you know for a fact that they're both there and that they're both making contact with the ground. Now let's balance them. We want the left and the right to be bearing equal weight. We want the front and the back of the foot to be bearing equal weight. Left and right, front and back. We also want the big toe and the outside of the ball of the foot to be bearing equal weight. So pay your attention to that and try to balance it. And then bring your attention to the heel. Is both sides of the heel bearing equal weight, or are we leaning one way or the other? Come into balance. Soften your eyes. Close them if you like. That adds to the difficulty of the balance, and it will give you further information as to whether in fact you're balanced on your feet. Now bring your attention to your knees. Are they locked back? Are they bent too far forward? And just kind of gently straighten them in a fashion that they have a mild, soft bend to them. Now before we begin, the very first pose that we're going to go into is a very traditional pose called mountain pose. We begin in this standing posture and bring your full attention to the bottom of your feet, making sure that you're balanced left to right, front to back, and side to side of each foot. Now that in itself is quite an accomplishment. But now we want to bring our attention into the arch of the foot. So imagine that this is the arch of the foot. Some of us have high arches, some of us have low arches. Whatever yours is perfect. We just simply want to tone the muscles of the arch. And doing that, that kind of turns on the muscles surrounding the ankle. Toning that arch tones the foot, the ankles. Tone your ankles completely. Bring it up the Achilles heel. In the back there, a small amount up the back. And notice that that gives you a firmer foundation to stand on. Now bring your attention to the inside of the calves. So by doing that, we activate the inside of the calf. Now the outside of the calf with our full attention, the front of the calf, and the back of the calf. And that wraps us all the way up to our knees. Now imagine that you have a big magic blanket that you're putting around each knee and turn the muscles on. Make your muscles that magic blanket that turns the muscles on around the knee. And in doing so, then you feel like you have a firmer foundation. Now bring your attention to your inner knee and to the inner thigh. Bring that activation of the muscle right up the inside of the inner thigh, coming all the way up to the groin area. Now simultaneously, turn on the front of the abdomen and then wrap around the glutes in the back. Now that picks our glutes up in the back and at the same time gives us a nice firm foundation in the front, like a wall that we have support from. And in doing so, we've activated our glutes, we've activated the pelvic bowl in the front, the lower region of the abdomen, and we want that to pick our upper frame up. Bring it on up to the waist so that maybe our hands are on our waist to let us know for a fact that we've made full connection. And the last thing to do before we check in with ourselves again is bring the toning up the sides of the legs as well. Now this enables us to feel like we have the lower part of our body completely activated. Let's check in on that. And don't we feel like we're stronger, we're more stable? We're really in a position here where our bottom part of our body is balanced, left and right, front and back, top and bottom. Very good, very good. Keep those glutes turned on, keep those arches turned on, and now pay attention to the muscles on either side of the spine. And notice that you can tone the spine and tone the front of the body simultaneously. We have our meridian system that runs up the front of the body, the back of the body, and as those two systems activate, we bring it all the way up. Bring it up to the head area just for now. And notice that your shoulders are free. Drop those shoulders away from the ears and just float your shoulders, but keep the lower part of your body activated. Keep the muscles on either side of the spine completely activated. Now slowly turn your head to the right. Come back to center. Slowly turn your head to the left. Come back to center. Are your arches activated? Are your thighs activated? Are your glutes activated? Are you still supporting yourself? Keep those muscles on either side of the spine working all the way up. Now go ahead and bring that activation up the back of the neck and all the way up over the head. And in doing so, that enables us to have a stronger base. It also enables us to have an awareness of our crown chakra. We're going to look at our chakras another time, but not this morning. Very good. By now, after just getting out of bed, this may feel, well, I'm a little fatigued. So at this point in time, take a step forward and just move gently. Kind of shake side to side, move your knees, your ankles, wherever you need to go. Go back into position and bring your right foot forward. And on your toes, movement from the hip. Make a nice big circle. The knee will be the most apparent part that moves. The body is actually activating the movement from the hip joint itself. And the toes are getting some action too because we're moving on top of those, kind of stretching them out. Reverse the direction of your circles. This enables the hip to have some distribution of the synovial fluid that was sitting dormant all night. There as you were still and resting and renewing the body, but now you're waking that hip up. Shake it out a little bit. Just shake it out. Wipe it off 3 or 4 times. And clean your hands on the floor. Very good. Now bring the left foot forward. Movement from the hip. Make nice, big, clean, slow, deliberate circles. Notice I'm not going too fast because we are waking these joints up, but at the same time we're evenly distributing the synovial fluid. This is a wake-up exercise. And take one more breath and reverse the direction of your circles. The toes get some movement, the knees get gentle movement, but the hip actually is what we're waking up. Make sure the standing leg is very secure. Shake that leg out 3 or 4 times. Wipe it off 3 or 4 times. And clean your hands on the floor. Now move gently in a gentle sway, allowing your arms to shift back and forth. And it's great if they tap the body because that increases the circulation. Very good. Let's come to the edge of our mat and do a variation for early morning 4 of the Sun Salutation series. And we come to the edge of our mat, bringing our attention back into our feet, back into our legs, and we activate the arches, activate the ankles, up the inside of the calves, the outside of the calves, the back of the calves, the front of the calves, and wrap those knees with strength. Wrap those knees with strength that holds you up. Now bring your full activation up the center of the thighs, up over the lower abdomen, and activate the glute area. Hands on the hips just to ensure, and then shoulders fall away from the ears as the hands drop to your side. Bring your strength, the activation, up the front of the body and up the back of the body simultaneously. Come right on up over the head and pause. You are in mountain pose in this position and ready to begin. Bring your hands slightly forward and let's take a nice deep cleansing breath in as we raise our hands to the ceiling. Actually, imagine you're raising your hands to the sky. This opens up the side body, the ribs on both sides, allows the lungs to have a new position and plenty of place to breathe, and then slowly raise your head up and look to the sky. We're opening up the front of the throat, the front of the neck. Bring your gaze back to neutral. Slowly release your hands all the way down, and as you come down, begin a curl. The curl begins in the low back, keeping the legs nice and straight. And then the curl continues all the way over to your gaze comes to your knees. Now soften the knees so that they're not locked back. We want them a nice straight knee, but at the same time you can soften them to the front. Bring your hands all the way down to the floor. Your gaze is still on between your feet or on your knees. We want a nice straight neck. And gently move your hips left to right. Remember, this is a wakening up series. If you're already completely awake, this should be pretty easy. If you're still stiff from just getting out of bed, this might be very rewarding. Either way, it's exactly what you need to do right now. Step back with the left foot. Step back nice and deep. Adjust your hands to where your back remains straight. Keep your gaze down on the toes of your right foot. That'll keep your neck straight, and you're up on your toes of the left foot. Rock forward and back. This opens up the back of the body and at the same time activates the foot. Activates the foot in a very positive way. We're stretching the left calf as we roll back. Take a deep cleansing breath. Notice that your right leg is against the right side of your abdomen. This is actually massaging the ascending part of your colon. This is a wake-up series that helps with the natural processes of digestion in the body. Flatten that back foot to the side or straight and bring your hands up to your knee and bring your hands all the way up into a traditional warrior pose. Now notice that the front knee is bent, and notice that the back leg is straight, and notice that the trunk sits square on top of the hips. We are not leaning forward, we're not leaning back, we're not leaning to one side or the other. Bend that front knee and let the stretch really deepen. Bring your right hand forward, left hand back. Take a nice deep cleansing breath. Drop the back hand down to the back leg as you reach up with the front hand. Keep your gaze on the front hand. We're opening up the right side of the body, allowing that left shoulder to dip down and stretch. Breathe. Bring the right hand back down, left hand down, and then bring them both back up to the front. Now straighten the front leg. That activates the hamstring on the right side for a nice deep stretch. Move your hips gently left to right. Be gentle, kind and loving. Bend the front leg again. Let's bring both hands back down in front of the body by the right foot and bring the left foot forward. You're in a curled forward fold position again. and roll all the way up. Hands up overhead, hands to your chest. Roll your shoulders. Very good. Take a deep cleansing breath in. Allow the body to balance. Bring your attention back to your feet. Activate your arches. Activate the ankles. Activate the inside of the calf, the outside of the calf, the back of the calf, the front of the calf, and wrap those knees with strength. Bring the strength toning all the way up the inside of the thighs, wrapping up the front of the lower abdomen and around, picking the glutes up. Make sure you're nice and straight. Now activate the outside of the thighs as well, but the powerhouse is in the glutes. The powerhouse is in the lower abdomen that's holding you up. And then bring your attention up the back of the spine that allows the muscles on either side of the spine to activate and to balance the body. Raising both hands all the way up. Bring your gaze up between your hands. It's easier this time because you've already done it. The benefits of yoga are immediate. Drop your hands down and slowly begin the curl in the low back, keeping the legs nice and straight, but the knees soft toward the front. Hands come down on the mat. The right foot steps back, the front knee bends. We are using our upper body against our left thigh. This activates the descending colon. Once again, rounding out that full range of the digestive tract. Rock forward and back on the toes. This is a gentle massage to the abdomen, a nice deep massage to the foot, and at the same time stretching that right calf. We stretched the left earlier, now we're stretching the left calf, and the right calf. Breathe as you do this. Very good. Now turn the back foot to the side or whatever position is good for you. Come on up with your hands on your knees. I notice I'm on a deep carpet. The carpet itself makes balancing difficult. Bring both hands all the way up. Take a nice deep cleansing breath. Make sure your gaze is to the front. Make sure the front knee is bent, the back leg is straight, and the body itself sits over the hips, not leaning forward, not leaning back. Bring your left hand forward, your right hand back. Keep your gaze over the front hand. Breathe. One more breath. Drop the right hand down to the back leg. The front hand comes up. Keep your gaze on that front hand. We're opening up the right shoulder toward the back, and at the same time, mildly massaging the neck and the front. Bring both hands back up and down, respectively, and then back up to the center. Keep that front knee bent. And then straighten the front leg. Again, stretching the hamstring on the left leg. Gently move your hips left to right. There's mild motion with this. Breathe. Bend the front knee. Slowly bring your hands all the way down to the floor. Step forward with the right foot and come all the way up in a gentle motion. Hands up overhead, hands to your chest. Step back to the center and just pause for a moment. Place your right hand on top of your heart, your left hand on top of your left hand, on top of your right hand. This allows the electrical system of the heart to balance across the upper body first. Because whenever we close out today, we're going to do some things that balance the upper body and the lower body with our electrical system. Pause. Did your heart rate increase? Did your lungs activate? We made gentle movements, but we were also activating the cardio system. When you're ready, slowly make your way down to the floor. Seated with your legs out in front of you in the staff position. Aggressively rub the top of your thighs. This is part of balancing the electrical system top to bottom of the body. But at the same time, notice, is your back nice and straight? Your legs extended, the back is nice and straight. Place the right hand on the left knee, the left hand on the right knee, and pause. Feel the connection. It's not about touching, it's about connecting. Connect the upper body to the lower body, acknowledging the differences, but acknowledging the importance of these differences, allowing each part to do its very best at the special activity that it brings to the function of the body. Very good. Change hands back to their respective knees, right on right, left on left. Keeping your back nice and straight, slide your hands forward. Knees stay down. You may only go just a few inches. That's perfectly great, especially considering that you're keeping your back straight. We're stretching that back in a very different way. See if you can go down another ½ inch, keeping the back straight. It's not about curling forward. It's about keeping the back straight at this point. Breathe. Slide your hands down a little bit further. Very good. Keep the back straight. Now curl the back and slide down even further. Breathe. One more breath. Bring your hands back up. Right hand up, left hand up, right foot up, left foot up, and roll all the way back into a reclining position. And as you do that, bring both knees to your chest, a gentle rock, left to right. Come to stillness. By rocking, we were massaging our kidney area. Bring both feet down flat on the floor. That kidney massage increases circulation, the oxygen and the nutrients that went to the kidneys, allowing the kidneys to be able to provide for your next phase of detoxification. Bring the right knee to your chest, the left knee out. Don't let it touch the floor, extending that left leg. Flex and point both feet. Bring the left knee in, right leg goes out. Don't let it touch the floor. Flex and point both feet. Bring the right knee in, both knees are now in against your chest. We're holding them behind the knees, on the thighs, not in front of the knees, so that we're not putting any stress on the knee itself. And wherever you go, if you're out here like this, that's perfect. Or you're back close to your chest, wherever you go is perfect. Now place your full attention on your tailbone. Hold on to your knees and the thighs securely. With your attention on your tailbone, activate the muscles and push your tailbone away from your face. We do that to activate the pelvic floor and be able to activate the lower back. Relax. Take a breath in. Again, find the lower part of your spine, the tailbone. Activate the muscles around it. Hold on to your knees and push your tailbone away. Activating that low back and the pelvic floor. Relax. We're going to do that one last time. Breath in. Place your attention on your tailbone. Hold on to your knees. Push your tailbone away as you pull your knees in. And relax. Bring up both legs all the way down. And let's pick our head up and elongate the neck so that there's plenty of room for the neck function. Move your shoulders down away from your ears. Bring the shoulder blades underneath you in the back and then deliberately relax your shoulders. This elongates the head and neck area, activates the back of the body, and then provides for relaxation across the heart and lung area. Now, since we moved our upper body, the lower body may feel a bit cramped. So gently move left to right and just elongate the body to the degree you need in order to be comfortable. Bring your hands down by your sides. Put your full attention on your glutes, on the buttocks. With your attention on your glutes, tighten both glutes uniformly, left and right, top and bottom, and relax. Again, tighten both glutes uniformly. Look to see if the lower part of the glute and the upper part of the glute are both tight and the left and the right match. Relax. One last time. Tighten both glutes, make sure they are balanced and that they're holding the lower part of the body with strength, and relax. Very good. Move your feet left to right. Take a deep cleansing breath in. And as you do so, put your left hand on the left side of your hip, the right hand on the right side of the hip, physically touching the left side of the body and the right side of the body, and ask that the two sides, left and right, balance and integrate and harmonize, heal each other, strengthen each other, provide information back and forth about how the both parts can serve the whole in the best possible way. Take a deep cleansing breath in. Move your left hand to your belly area, your right hand to your heart area. You are physically touching the upper body and the lower body simultaneously, honoring the differences between the two parts, the upper and the lower, but at the same time asking them to integrate and harmonize and balance, unite, to act together in the best possible way for the whole, respecting and appreciating every single function that the upper and the lower parts of the body perform. Move your left hand to the back of your neck, the right hand to the front of your head. You're physically touching the front of the body and the back of the body simultaneously. Symbolically, you're touching the back of the body, which represents where you've been, the experiences you've had, where you've come from, your past. And from those pasts, the experience brings you wisdom, information, knowledge. Physically in the front, we're touching the front of the body, where we're headed, our future, where we're going. May the wisdom of the past be connected to the future decisions that you make, that all those decisions incorporate every benefit of every experience you've ever had. Take a deep cleansing breath in. Bring your arms back down by your sides. Roll your head to the left. Pause. Roll the head back to center. Roll your head to the right. Pause. Roll your head back to center. Take another deep cleansing breath. Slowly move your fingers, your toes. Bend your knees and roll to one side or the other. Doesn't matter which side. We're using this time for your breath to deepen and for the body to assimilate the benefit of every movement you made, every breath you took, every stretch you made, every alignment that took place. We're allowing the neural pathways of the brain to reset, recharge, rebalance, reconfigure for exactly what you need going forward in life. When you're ready, use your hands to assist you. Come back up to a seated posture in the front. Your legs can be out, they can be crossed, whatever's good for you. Bring your hands down on your knees. Pause. Let your gaze be gentle and soft, perhaps right in front of your legs. And breathe. We're going to take 3 deep cleansing breaths together to close our time. Breathing in the goodness of the day and bring that down into your body. Take another deep cleansing breath, breathing in the goodness of the time we spent together and bring that into your body. One last time, this time fingertips touch, hands come to your chest as you acknowledge the light within you and the light of others in the world. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time.